Bitcoin has been quite a roller coaster lately, hasn't it?
It certainly had.
I mean, that dip below $95,000,
Yeah.
you'd think that would have everyone kind of hitting the panic button, but that's not quite the case, is it?
Not exactly. No.
Sure.
You see,
Yeah.
the crypto world is full of folks who have really different perspectives on this.
Yeah.
Some see it as a sign of trouble, but others, like Robert Kiyosaki,
Okay.
the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, they're actually kind of excited about it.
Excited about a price drop. That seems a little counterintuitive.
It does, right?
What's his angle?
Well, you see, Kiyosaki is a huge advocate for the buy low HODL strategy.
Okay.
It's all about seeing these dips as opportunities to buy more Bitcoin at a discount and then just holding on to it for the long term.
Okay.
He really believes in Bitcoin's long-term potential. So these short-term fluctuations don't really faze him.
So instead of panicking, he's like, this is a fire sale.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting.
Okay.
So he's stocking up. But Bitcoin can be so unpredictable.
It can.
What makes him so confident that it's going to bounce back?
Well, there are a couple of factors at play here.
Okay.
First, you have the scarcity factor.
Uh-huh.
There are less than 2 million Bitcoin left to be mined.
Right.
And as that number shrinks,
Yeah.
the basic principles of supply and demand suggest that the value should rise.
Right.
Like a rare collectible, the fewer there are,
Yeah.
the more valuable they become.
That makes sense. Yeah. Scarcity definitely plays a role.
For sure.
But I seem to remember that he also threw out some pretty bold predictions
You did.
about Bitcoin's future value.
Yes.
Didn't he say something about hitting $175,000?
Yes.
Maybe even $350,000 by 2025?
He did indeed. He's incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, and he's not alone.
Oh, really?
Some analysts from Bernstein,
Wow.
which is a very well-respected financial firm,
Yeah.
they've also set a target of $200,000 per Bitcoin by late 2025.
Wow. Okay, so we've got this legendary investor and a team of analysts painting a pretty rosy picture.
That's right.
But before we get too carried away with all these predictions,
Sure.
we need to understand why Bitcoin took this tumble in the first place.
Of course.
What triggered this sudden drop?
Well, ironically, it was some unexpectedly positive news for the U.S. economy.
What?
I know, right?
Okay.
So the latest jobs report
Yeah.
showed a surprisingly strong job market,
Okay.
with way more openings than anyone had anticipated.
Okay.
And believe it or not, this actually spooked some Bitcoin investors.
Wait, good news for the economy is bad news for Bitcoin.
I know.
I don't.
Yeah, it's a little counterintuitive.
How does that work?
Yeah, so it all comes down to investor psychology and risk perception.
Okay.
When the economy is strong and traditional markets are doing well,
Right.
some investors shift their focus away from riskier assets like cryptocurrency.
Okay.
They might take some profits off the table or just rebalance their portfolios.
Mm.
And that can lead to a sell-off in assets like Bitcoin.
So even though the jobs report was positive overall,
Yeah.
it created a little ripple effect in the crypto market.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So people got a little jittery,
they did.
decided to play it safe.
Yeah.
And the impacts was pretty substantial, right?
Oh, yeah, it was big.
Like, how substantial are we talking?
Well, there were $206 million worth of Bitcoin liquidations in just 1 hour.
$206 million in just 1 hour. That paints a pretty dramatic picture
It does.
of how quickly things can change
Yeah,
in the crypto world.
absolutely.
So this positive jobs report really threw a wrench in the gears, at least temporarily.
It seems that way.
But does this mean the future's looking bleak for Bitcoin?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh.
While there's definitely some short-term uncertainty,
Mm-hmm.
there are also voices of optimism out there.
Okay. Like who?
Well, for example, QCP Capital,
Okay.
a digital asset trading firm,
Yeah.
they see this downturn as a temporary pause. They believe that the fundamentals of Bitcoin are still strong
Okay.
and that this dip could actually be a good entry point
Interesting.
for those who believe in its long-term potential.
Okay, so they're basically saying, don't sweat the dip. It's just a bump in the road.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
That's a pretty different take from the folks who are scrambling to sell.
It is, isn't it? And that's what makes the crypto world so fascinating. You have all these different viewpoints and interpretations of the same events.
Right.
It's this constant push and pull between fear and greed,
Yeah.
short-term speculation and long-term vision.
It's like a financial roller coaster.
Mm.
But instead of screaming, people are buying and selling.
Exactly.
This is a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
We've got some investors hitting the panic button,
Uh-huh.
others seeing it as a fire sale.
Yeah.
Predictions flying around like confetti.
It's a lot.
What's the key takeaway for someone trying to make sense of all of this?
I think there are two crucial points to remember.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so first, Volatility is simply part of the game when it comes to the crypto market.
Okay.
Ups and downs are unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the weather, you can't control it, but you can prepare for it.
Okay.
Understanding that these fluctuations are normal can help you avoid making like impulsive decisions
Right.
based on fear or hype.
Okay, so ride the waves.
Yes,
Don't get swept away.
exactly.
Okay, that's a good mantra to keep in mind.
For sure.
What's the second takeaway?
The second point is that Bitcoin's future, like any emerging asset, is inherently uncertain.
Okay.
There are some very smart people like Kiyosaki and those Bernstein analysts
Right.
who are incredibly bullish on its potential,
Yeah,
but there are no guarantees.
of course not.
It's important to approach Bitcoin and really any investment
Yeah.
with a balanced perspective,
Mm-hmm.
recognizing both the potential upsides and the risk involved.
Okay, so don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Don't let fear or hype dictate your decisions.
Exactly.
Do your research understand your risk tolerance and invest accordingly?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, it's solid advice for any investment, not just Bitcoin.
Absolutely. And remember, diversification is key.
Okay.
A well-balanced portfolio can help you weather the storms and come out ahead in the long run.
This has been quite a journey through Bitcoin's latest roller coaster ride.
It has, hasn't it?
From sudden price drops and investor reactions
Yeah.
to bold predictions and market analysis, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And it all circles back to that fundamental question.
Uh-huh.
What does all of this tell us about Bitcoin's long-term potential?
Right.
Is it a risky gamble or a smart investment for the future?
That is the million-dollar question.
It is, isn't it? And there's no easy answer.
Not at all.
But that's what makes this space so captivating.
Absolutely.
It's dynamic, it's unpredictable, and it's constantly evolving.
Exactly. It challenges our assumptions about finance technology.
Yeah.
Even the nature of value itself.
And that's why we can't seem to get enough right.
I think so.
The crypto world is full of surprises.
It is.
Even with all the analysis and the predictions, the future remains an open book.
A very intriguing open book, I might add.
It is, it is.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
It is.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
we've given you the information, the insights, the diverse perspectives.
Yep.
Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is Bitcoin a gamble or a game changer?
Right.
Weigh the evidence, consider your own financial goals,
Mm.
and make an informed decision.
You know, knowledge is power,
It really is.
especially in a world as complex and as rapidly changing as the crypto space.
Couldn't agree more.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this look at Bitcoin's latest roller coaster ride.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned for more insightful discussions as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of crypto.
Looking forward to it.
So they're saying don't sweat the dip.
Yeah.
It's just a bump in the road.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a pretty different take
It is.
from those folks who are scrambling to sell.
Right. And that's what makes the crypto world so fascinating. You've got all these different viewpoints and interpretations of the same events.
Uh-huh.
This constant push and pull
Right.
between fear and greed,
Yeah.
short-term speculation,
Yeah.
and long-term vision.
It's like a financial roller coaster.
Mm.
But instead of screaming,
Yeah,
people are buying and selling.
that's one way to put it.
So this is a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
We've got some investors hitting the panic button.
Yeah.
Others see it as a fire sale.
Yeah.
Predictions flying around like confetti.
It can be overwhelming,
It can be.
for sure.
What's the key takeaway here
Okay.
for someone trying to make sense of all of this?
I think there are two crucial points to remember.
Okay. I'm all ears.
So first, volatility is just part of the game when it comes to the crypto market.
Okay.
Ups and downs are going to happen.
Yeah.
They're unavoidable.
Right.
It's like the weather. You can't control it, but you can prepare for it.
Okay.
Understanding that these fluctuations are normal can help you avoid making those impulsive decisions based on fear or hype.
Okay, so ride the waves.
Exactly.
Don't get swept away by them.
Don't get swept away.
Okay, that's a good mantra to keep in mind.
I like that.
What's the second takeaway?
The second takeaway is that Bitcoin's future, like any emerging asset, is inherently uncertain.
Right.
You've got some brilliant minds like Kiyosaki and those Bernstein analysts
Yeah.
who are incredibly bullish on its potential, but
Yeah.
there are no guarantees.
No.
And it's important to approach Bitcoin and really any investment
Right.
with a balanced perspective.
Okay.
Recognize both the potential upsides
Yeah.
and the risks involved.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Don't let fear or hype dictate your decisions.
Right.
Do your research,
Yes.
understand your risk tolerance,
Uh-huh.
and invest accordingly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's solid advice for any investment.
Gosh. It is.
Not just Bitcoin.
Absolutely. And remember, diversification is key.
Okay.
A well-balanced portfolio
Yeah.
can really help you weather those storms and come out ahead in the long run.
This has been quite a journey
It has.
through Bitcoin's latest roller coaster ride.
It certainly has.
I mean, we've got sudden price drops,
Yeah.
investor reactions,
Yeah.
bold predictions, market analysis.
It's a lot.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
And it all circles back to that fundamental question.
Right.
What does all this tell us about Bitcoin's long-term potential?
Exactly.
Is it a risky gamble or a smart investment for the future?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is, and there's no easy answer.
Not at all.
But that's what makes this space so captivating.
I think so.
It's dynamic. It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving.
Right. It really challenges our assumptions about finance technology,
Yeah.
even the nature of value itself.
And that's why we can't seem to get enough.
Right.
The crypto world is full of surprises.
So many surprises.
Even with all the analysis,
Yeah.
the predictions, the future remains an open book.
A very intriguing open book.
It is.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
we've given you the information, the insights,
Right.
the diverse perspectives. Now it's your turn.
It is.
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Is Bitcoin a gamble
Yeah.
or a game changer?
That's the question.
Weigh the evidence,
For sure.
consider your own financial goals, and make an informed decision.
That's the best anyone can do.
You know, knowledge is power,
Absolutely.
especially in a world as complex and as rapidly changing
Yeah.
as the crypto space.
It really is.
And on that note,
Okay.
we'll wrap up this
Yeah.
look into Bitcoin's latest roller coaster ride.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned for more insightful discussions as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of crypto.
Can't wait.
So where does this leave us?
Yeah. That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, we've got Robert Kiyosaki predicting that Bitcoin could skyrocket.
Right.
But on the other hand, we have a market that just took a pretty significant hit. It's a lot of mixed signals to process.
It can be a little confusing. Yeah.
It's like, what do we do with all this information?
Right. And that's why it's so important to look beyond the hype
Okay.
and the headlines
Yeah.
and dig into what's really driving Bitcoin's value.
So what are those things?
Well, things like its limited supply,
Okay.
its growing acceptance as a legitimate asset class, and you can't forget about its potential to really shake things up
Yeah.
in traditional financial systems.
So the takeaway here,
Yeah,
don't get caught up in the day-to-day drama.
exactly.
Step back, do your homework,
Uh-huh.
and make informed decisions based on your own goals
Right.
and your own risk tolerance.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
That seems like pretty solid advice, whether you're talking about Bitcoin or really any investment.
Absolutely. And in the world of crypto, knowledge is truly power.
Yeah.
The more you understand about Bitcoin,
Okay.
the blockchain technology behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and the broader crypto ecosystem,
Yeah.
the better equipped you'll be to navigate those ups and downs.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We started this conversation talking about this price drop,
Right.
but I'm feeling kind of optimistic about Bitcoin's future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we dug a little deeper and we explored all these different perspectives.
Yeah. And I think that's a great takeaway. Bitcoin has always been volatile, but it's also proven to be incredibly resilient.
Right.
It's weathered storms before and come out even stronger.
Yeah.
The underlying technology is sound,
Okay.
and the potential for disruption is very real.
So for everyone listening, here's something to think about.
Right.
Don't let the price swings distract you from the bigger picture. Bitcoin is more than just a digital currency.
Yeah.
It represents a fundamental shift in how we think about finance
Right.
and technology.
And I think whether you choose to invest in it or not, its impact on the future is undeniable.
Well said. And on that note,
Okay.
we'll wrap up this exploration of Bitcoin's wild ride.
Sounds good.
Stay curious,
Yeah.
stay informed, and keep exploring the fascinating world of crypto.
I'll see you out there.